Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. America's unemployed workers are sending a message. Here's the headline of an article on your screen from the Washington Post. America's unemployed are sending a message. They'll go back to work when they feel safe and well compensated. Now, folks, I have done another video on our channel talking about the September jobs report, which marks the weakest hiring this year. In fact, it was so disappointing that many economists were shocked. Not only did many more people file for unemployment benefits, many more than expected. Now, these numbers are lower than they were at the start of the year, but people are still filing for unemployment benefits. But what was even more shocking is that 183,000 people essentially dropped out of the labor workforce. Folks, there is a worker shortage in our country because people are dropping out of the labor workforce. In fact, an alarming number of women had to stop working in order to deal with childcare issues, with problems at school, with problems related to remote learning. In fact, this horrible September unemployment report, which actually indicated that only 194,000 new jobs were added, actually outlines the fact that the economic recovery for our country is much slower than expected, and we could have some deeper problems. And the deeper problems are the unemployed in America are not only dealing with healthcare issues, are dealing with concerns about their safety, but they are struggling with childcare, and they are reluctant to return to jobs where they feel they are unsafe or undercompensated. For months, economists had predicted that there would be a surge in hiring in September after the end of the unemployment benefits, which occurred over the Labor Day weekend. Instead, what happened in September was the weakest hiring for the year. Yes, you heard that right, folks. Weakest hiring for the year. And an alarming number of women had to stop working in order to deal with unstable school and childcare situations. These numbers are astonishing. 309,000 women over the age of 20 dropped out of the labor workforce in September, meaning they quit work or they stopped looking for jobs. In contrast, 182,000 men joined the labor workforce. Folks, this is a permanent shift in the US economy. Now, could there be a simple explanation for this mediocre report in September? Yes, folks, it could be the Delta variant. Yes, the Delta variant could be impacting life as we know it in different pockets of the country. Now, if you're living in a part of the country where life is back to normal, I get it, but I'm trying to present a national picture here. I want you to understand what's going on throughout the country, because this channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, the economy, as well as our money. So what has the Delta variant done? Folks, the Delta variant has zapped a lot of momentum from the recovery as people across the country are more hesitant to step out and work, more hesitant to eat out, more hesitant to travel, and only 2,100 jobs were added in hotels and just 29,000 in restaurants all across the country. In fact, this surge also impacted the reopening of public schools and the return to in-person learning. Schools repeatedly faced outbreaks and concerns from staff members, including bus drivers, who did not want to go back to driving vehicles with children because children under 12 at this moment cannot be vaccinated. So the September jobs report was a big blow also to Republicans who said that, hey, all these unemployment benefits are preventing people from getting back to work. The focus is millions of people lost all unemployment benefits and even then did not go back to work. There was no surge of individuals rushing to get back to work. So what is the bottom line, folks, from this jobs report? Is that the bottom line is that this is an uneven and bumpy recovery. The United States has roughly 11 million job openings right now and 7.7 million unemployed individuals. And this is a very complex situation. Think about that, folks. There are 11 job openings for every 8 unemployed people. This is a very complex problem. This is a deep-seated problem. And the Delta variant is a major factor that is preventing people from getting back to work. And many low-wage earners are actually revolting, according to the Washington Post, against years of poor pay and stressful conditions. Now, it's very unclear how all of this will essentially turn out. But one thing is for certain, people are hesitant to just jump back and get back into the workforce. They are not going to simply take the first job that they get, even if they believe it's a good job. and they are not going to accept situations they don't like. People want flexibility. People want dignity of work, and people want to be paid well. Now, there is a silver lining in this jobs report, and the silver lining is that the US unemployment rate fell to 4.8% in September, which is the lowest since the start of the pandemic. This is a huge rebound in a year and a half because in April 2020, the official unemployment rate was 14.7%. Now, some people believe the actual unemployment rate was even higher. Now, after the Great Recession, the last recession, it took nearly 7 years for unemployment to drop this low. Now, this time we've recovered fairly quickly because I believe the government stepped up in 2020 and 2021 to help people with trillions of dollars in aid for American households and businesses that prevented people from falling into poverty. So there was a lot of good stuff that was done, but the problem is the unemployment rate has declined for the wrong reason. The labor force actually got smaller in September. Fewer people, especially women, were looking for work. Think about this, folks. Women dropped out of the workforce and they continue to struggle with childcare and schooling problems. And more than 5 million Americans have stopped looking for work during the crisis. So the big question is, will they return? Are people actually going to return? Now, I can tell you that there was a big decline in public education jobs, which is very unusual and is probably a result of many schools hiring over the summer instead of waiting until September. So the fact is, schools are also being impacted. Now, what can we expect in the future? Hopefully, the Delta variant will subside quickly. And now there is hope that hiring will indeed pick up during the rest of the year and into 2022. Here's a tweet from Adam Ozimek, who's a chief economist at Upwork, which is a job site. The runway is cleared for a fall-winter jobs boom. I don't know if it starts this month or next, but I believe it's coming. Folks, the reality is that people don't feel safe getting back to work. There are childcare issues. There are elder care issues. There are issues about safety. You don't want to do a job where you could be exposed to this pandemic. Now, some of this may improve in the coming months, but it's very clear that the government and many economists have underestimated how long this virus will stick around. Also, the big question is, what will people be willing to expect when they return to work? Hourly wages did increase in September as many businesses started offering more money. Bank of America has now raised their minimum wage to $21 an hour, but because of high inflation, if you're making more money, you're also likely to spend more money. There's also a big divergence in how college-educated white-collar workers view this economy and how non-college educated workers see it and experience it, because they are the ones who are suffering the most. In fact, the University of Michigan economist Betsy Stevenson points out that employment in September grew by about 350,000 among people with a college degree or at least some college education. In sharp contrast, employment declined by more than 430,000 amongst Americans with a high school degree or less. Stevenson tweeted this: "The labor market is not working at the bottom." Many working class Americans have some savings right now from the stimulus checks and unemployment benefits, and they are supplementing it by taking on gig jobs like driving or Uber Eats. Now, people have some sort of a cushion, but at some point, this cushion will be gone and people will have to find a job that works best for them. Hopefully, they'll find the right job. They'll find a job that they like and a job that pays them well. And this is the economic reality facing America today. Thank you so much for watching. Please click the like button. Please click subscribe. Please enable notifications. I want you to know I work very hard on this channel, and I would appreciate you taking a second of your time to click the like button and to click subscribe and to enable notifications. This right here is my Twitter feed. Please follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.